everybody, and welcome. I see that everybody's coming in here fast and furious. It's good to see you all. Russ, you're standing as the first person to be on here, has died because Nina. Why do I say Nina? Nina beat you. Nina was first today. Yay, Nina. And let's see here, just getting these things coming up with little warnings and whatnot. Always does. Just make sure everything's turned on. Yeah, it sounds like it is. Yep, it is. Okay, that's good. So let's see. So we've got Nina and we've got Russ. Russ, working on updating my resume. Uh-oh. What's going on there, Russ? Do tell. You may have to send me a text message about that. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. And Suzanne is here. And Charlotte and Judy. Betty is here. New Quilting Life with Janice is here. And Sherry Cook is here. It's a beautiful day in Atlanta. It's snowing here. Faith is here. Patricia is here. Sue Norfleet says, good afternoon. It's a balmy 62 Fahrenheit in central Missouri today.
Wow, we have a 6 and a 2 in our Fahrenheit too.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's we're -3 and it's 26 Fahrenheit if you want.
Yeah, it's balmy here too, and it's
it's
snowing quite a bit actually right now. It wasn't earlier.
It was supposed to snow today though.
Yeah, well, it is. Gloria is here. Hi, Gloria, and Faith is here. I think I said that already. Barb is here. Barb says it's -25 in Calgary, which is -14 Fahrenheit. Lydia's here.
It's not snowing for long. I think it's only snowing for an hour.
Oh, and Russ has answered the question about why he's doing his resume. Where'd it go? Manager position where I worked, the opening created when my boss retired. Ooh. Moving on up. Kathy Weidman is here. That's Pat Jennings, if anybody doesn't know, I think. No, sorry, that's not. That is actually Kathy. The reason I said that is because on our sew days, for some reason, every time Pat comes on, she has a different name. So, for some reason, but no, this is really Kathy. Tamela is here. Grant is here. Inez is here. And Jen. Marilyn. Kathy says we have an echo. No, we don't, Kathy, because
I don't know,
we haven't got the echo. It must be at your end, dear. Do you have two devices going? For some reason, but no, this is really Kathy. Yep, no, we do not have an echo happening at our end, so it's got to be at your end. Donna's here. Nairi is here. Hi, Nairi.
Ooh, Nairi.
Nairi's all the way from Australia, everybody. Inez says it's going down to -22. Karen B is here. Dubrovka is here. I think I said hello to Gloria. They're getting snow as well. Nairi says it's 29 C at 6:30 a.m. this morning, headed for 40 degrees C. Yeah. Yeah, we're sorry. Not really. Pace is here. Oh, I have a new name. I'm Stevan. Slip of the old vowels there. Talk about your vowel shift. Ingrid is here. I changed my name. Ingrid Sews now. Okay. Ingrid, does that mean you're starting a YouTube channel by any chance? Bonnie's here. Yeah, Gloria says no echo either. And Have a Love from Wasaga Beach. Oh,
not very far.
No, but must be frosty there too. On that, I mean, Wasaga Beach is a nice place to go in the summer, but in the wintertime, I imagine it's quite nippy there. So, and for those of you who don't know where Wasaga Beach is, it's kind of what, northwesty of us, kind of a thing. Not that far really from us.
You never know where it is.
Oh, Pace's or fingers are frozen from the cold. Yeah. And Iser's here, checking in early. Yes, you are, Iser. From Vegas, baby. It's cold outside.
Warmer in Wasaga Beach than here.
What's
0?
It's 0. Oh, I would have thought it might have been a little cooler there. But anyways, so everybody is here. It's good to see you all, and lots of things to talk about
Oh, wait a
today.
minute. No, it's
What?
-7. I got the wrong thing. It's -7 in the Wasaga Beach.
Okay, and the weather report brought to you by Walter, who is wearing his finished creation. We did show it on So Chatty, his new shirt. Show your shirt. How come we're sitting down here? Oh, show your belly. Okay, there. I adjust the screen a little bit because
My tigers.
your tigers and lions and bears. Oh no. And Joan is here. Hi, Joan. So anyways, so that's what Walter had been working on. Well, you also saw on So Chatty that he was working on the Kindred creatures, which we
I
have.
haven't finished it.
He
yet.
hasn't finished it yet. You will see his finished product eventually.
It will be done in the next day or so.
Oh, so he
I'll
said.
try and do it tomorrow.
Yeah, sure he will. Liar. You
I
are.
was gonna start it today, but then do I really want to?
You're a liar.
I think I'm gonna curse and swear at it.
You're a liar. Whatever. Ingrid says, no, I'm not starting a channel. I'm much better as a YouTube groupie. Okay. Gloria likes your shirt. Yeah, it came out good.
Yeah, good. I like it.
So let's see here. I'll show you mine. Okay, this first thing I'm going to show you is my newest pattern. The pattern is not ready yet for distribution, but that's the top. I haven't decided when I'm going to put the pattern out yet. I may put it out before the retreat. I may put it out during the retreat. And then so the people who come to the retreat will get first grabs at it. And then after that, I'll open it up to anybody else who would like it. Walter's studying it because he's looking for a mistake. No. I had a couple of people point out when I had it on the design wall that I had one block upside down, but it hadn't been sewn yet. And I caught that. I saw it. But look at him studying, and he's just sitting here, just eyes just appealed on. He's looking for something. It's perfect. It's perfect. And believe me, when I say it's perfect, I know that it's perfect. You're looking. I know you're just sitting here studying. No,
No, I just saw something that
What?
I wondered about.
Where? What?
Why does this one have a point here, and that one doesn't? It's up there instead.
Shit. There is a.
This one does the same thing. Like this point goes there, and then it goes up.
Oh, that's supposed to go that way.
Okay. So
That's
maybe-
part of the design. Yes. It's the way the picture's taken too. They're the same thing.
Okay.
They're half square triangles.
All right. Yeah. All right. I see.
It's just it's because the pattern because it's
okay,
hanging loose on the wall.
I see now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I'm
about
just trying to be difficult.
in the words of you, go away.
That's all right.
Jeez. Crepes. No, it's the way the angle of it when I took it, it's skewed a little bit,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
picture.
Fine.
So
I see now. All right.
go away.
We're okay.
Go away. All right, moving off of this, shall we, and go on to the other one. Okay, so if you saw So Chatty on Friday, this is my version of Kindred creatures. Walter hasn't got his finished yet. He's being very, very particular because some of his joins don't match up. Well, some of mine don't either, and
Yeah, I know, but I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about the interior joint. I'm worried about the exterior joint. My one piece goes too far out, so I want to fix that.
well, you might want to fix that. But anyways, it's done. And we talked all about what you can do with these pieces afterwards. If you don't want to use it as a wall hanging, you could make it into like a neat bag. In fact, what you could do is you don't necessarily have to have all the pieces if you were to make it into a bag. Like before, if you made that decision before you sewed it, you could do things with the panels.
Yeah, like you could put like I think it would become a fairly big bag if you use all the panels.
Yeah.
But you could cut it off a little bit at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
Why is Russ sending me text messages during the live? No, he says it's consistent. Okay, fine. High praise from Russ there. Russ has examined it. You people who have this thing about always having to be absolutely right about everything, you drive me up the wall. You really do. You are legends in your own little minds. Okay. So, anyways, that's what we've been up to. And I am, as I said, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to become available. I still have to go through the pattern again and fine tune some of the wording in it and everything like that. And yeah, I'm thinking I may hold back on it and it may not be available until the retreat. We'll talk more about the retreat. I have a minor little update on it later on. But before we get there, announcements. Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. I think we will have Stephanie back this week on Wednesday because you probably know Stephanie has been on a cruise down the Caribbean. Poor girl. I'm sure she's suffering. Not. And so everything, I'm sure when she gets back, I'm not sure if she's coming back today or she came back yesterday. I don't see her on here, so probably not. She's maybe in transit yet.
Yeah, or she's acclimatizing to the climate.
Well, that could be. Yeah, true with that. Let's see here. I think a few other people came in when we were showing what we made. Sherry likes it. I think Walter pointed out my question. Yeah, no. It's actually not a mistake. It's the way it goes. So don't worry about it. It's okay. It's part of it is that, okay, when I take a picture on something like that, I often use the features on my camera to skew it a little bit. If it comes out a little bit crooked, to get it in the best way. But when you do that, it also distorts things slightly as well. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. Ivy's here. Hi, Ivy. Let's see. Sue says, release it a few days before the retreat so we can work on it retreat day. That's an idea, Sue. I didn't think of that. Actually, what I could do is I could send everybody who's registered for retreat a couple of days before, send it to them directly. So we'll see about that. All kinds of ideas. Of course, my problem is I can't keep things for that long, so who knows, it may come out before then. Pace says the corner blocks look like inverted hearts with wings. I never thought of that. That's kind of cool. Wasn't in my mind at the time, but okay. Candace is here. Hi, Candace. And Russ says it's my CDO, which is like OCD, but the letters are in order as they should be. Okay. There's a joke in that. Yes. Is there a God, Russ? Okay. Is there a dog? That's how that goes. Is there a dog? Judy's here from Michigan. Kim is here from Nova Scotia. Hi, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Dubrovka and Stephen, I must say how nice of you to acknowledge all the chat members by name. So kind of you. So few YouTubers do this. Hey, you guys are our bread and butter. We want you to know that we appreciate you. And also, it's easier to cut you up to your face that way because then we have a name. Yeah. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. So that's what we've been up to. I've already talked about sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. Okay, next pop-up sew day. This coming Saturday, February the 8th, there's a link for it now in the show notes below for the Zoom. Everybody that's on my mailing list will get that in their email box sometime tomorrow as well. Everybody's welcome to it. Anybody that may be new on here has never been to a pop-up sew day, it is what the name suggests. It just pops up. I usually open the virtual doors at 8 a.m. You don't have to be here at 8 a.m. You can come and go as you please throughout the whole day. You do not have to register for it or anything like that. We just get together and we're just a friendly bunch who sew together and do whatever, chat about this, that, and the other thing. No drama, safe zone, all that kind of good stuff there. And we always have a good time. And the reason we're having it this Saturday is because we'll be without Walter. He's trundling off to do his thing with his little cronies down at the club there, his sewing day thing. What are you going to work on when you go there?
I'll probably make another shirt. I'm only comfortable doing that. Either that or I might do, if I get to doing some embroidery, I might. Actually, no, I have a bag I need to make too, so I don't know. Which I'll do.
Well, there you go. You can see how far ahead Walter plans. Not at
I
all.
don't plan ahead for that stuff. Actually, I need to do some more stuff. I gotta get away from sewing shirts.
So dresses.
Yeah, right.
I was looking for something with an empire waist and cap sleeves. No, you made me one of those once. No, that's a story for another day. Yeah, so pop up this Saturday. Doors open at 8. All are welcome. Links in the show notes today. It'll also be in my vlog tomorrow. It'll be an Idiot Quilter episode on Tuesday, and it'll be in So Chatty on Friday as well. What are you giggling at?
Russ's joke.
What's to say? You want jokes? What does DNA stand for? National Dyslexic Association. Oh, I just got it. Stop it. Stop it, Russ. Jeez. Really? But okay, moving on here. So speaking of So Chatty, on Friday, so we've finished the Kindred creatures in the hoop wall hanging. We do want to move into bag making and looking at it from 2 points of view, if not several points of view. I still haven't figured this out yet, how we're going to do this. I pulled up today a pattern that I think I'd like to do in the hoop. I don't know what Walter's going to do, whether he's going to do one in the hoop as well. He's never done a bag in the hoop with it, but I mean, you just did a wall hanging. So
well, I thought you reminded me to do the way I normally do.
Well, yeah, I do, but we also need to, I want to learn from you your techniques. I know how I do it.
Well, I don't do anything really interesting.
Yeah, but you do stuff that's different from what I do. So anyways, so we'll see how that works out. But in the meantime, that's not for next week. I have a little filler sort of thing. I did show it, and he's actually right over there behind my head. Do you see my little gnome with the heart hanging up there on the door? Well, I've done, for next week, So Chatty, I take you through the process of doing something like that in the hoop. Because there's a lot of them available for all kinds of occasions. I have done, you've seen my Uncle Bob one, which was based on the Uncle Sam one, but I changed them into Canadian. And I did a Nutcracker at Christmas time, and there's all kinds of interesting ones, and they're kind of fun to do, and they don't take a long time to do. And they're great if you need a quickie decoration for a seasonal time. Like they have ones for Easter, they have ones for Halloween, they have St. Patrick's Day. There's all kinds of them out there. And they're not all gnomes. They're different figures as well. Actually, there's one of a witch that I kind of would like to do for Halloween. I kind of like her too. Wait, and still they put them on sale. They're not usually that expensive, but I think this guy, he was on for 50% off, Designs by Juju, and I think he cost me just under $10 American, so he was about $15-16 Canadian. Yeah, actually it's a little bit more expensive than I usually spend on those kind of things, but anyways, I like them. I had to have them. He's a gnome. What can I say with it? So the whole of So Chatty next week, along with whatever else we're going to talk about, I've put together a video showing you from beginning to end how to put one of these little suckers together with it. And then the week after that is when we'll probably start the bag series with that, hopefully. Let's see. Did I say hello to Julie?
Yeah.
Okay. Ingrid's looking forward to the retreat in April. I'm assuming, Ingrid, what you're talking about is Stephanie's retreat in Berlin. We think we'll be there. Maybe. Anyways, not going to get into that right now. Charlotte says, Steve, my first When Stars Collide is now at my daughter-in-law's counseling office in the kids area, and the kids are using it to cuddle up and during their sessions. Well, that's nice, Charlotte. Evelyn is here. Barb says the Kindred Creatures gives me a 70s vibe, and I'm not sure why. Well, yeah, it's got that kind of, you know, it's the colors and the shape. It does have that kind of a 70s look to it. Wild Rose Treasures is here. Betty is here. Walter, your shirt looks comfortable. Stephen, like your pattern. Well, thank you, Betty. Okay.
It is comfortable. Actually, the fabric is really nice. It's a quilting cotton, but it's a really
It doesn't feel like a
nice
usual.
fabric.
I'm wearing my Australian. This is. I made this one, wasn't it?
No, I make all your shirts except for that one with the starburst.
Oh, it's the Starburst I made. That's right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just hard to tell. I'm so good at it. Yeah. Myra is here from cold New Hampshire. New Hampshire. New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Yeah. I have a hard time with that one. Hampshire. It's like Worcester sauce. But whatever. Okay. So that's plans for So Chatty. So we've been talking about the weather. And I don't know if any of you have heard of this or not. It is a thing, and it's not just limited to Canada, although we probably have them more often than you guys do. I'm just trying to find my picture of it. There we go. Okay. Have you ever heard of a frost quake? They're not like a earthquake, but they're a frost quake, and basically what they are, and here's a picture of a frost quake.
It's Prospect, Connecticut, so it's
so they get them in Connecticut. Yeah, well, any place where they have snow and ice, you can get a frost quake. But if you've ever heard, for those of you that are in frozen areas, if you've ever heard a low rumble or a boom kind of a thing and wondered what it was, it's a frost quake. Basically, if the ground isn't completely frozen and there's been a lot of moisture, it goes down into the moisture goes into the ground, and then suddenly when there's a freeze, it freezes, but it has nowhere to go, so it basically pulls the earth apart, like surface. It cracks, and that's why you hear a boom. They actually explain it here. It says, after a relatively mild start to the year, which included above freezing temperatures and mostly rain, parts of southern New England, this one's an American article, could be at risk of hearing a few loud booms this weekend as the polar vortex delivers some of the coldest air of the season. According to Maine Geological Survey, frost quakes usually occur between midnight and dawn, which is the coldest part of the night. They can occur over several hours or even several days. They say that they're very localized, but sometimes can be enough to jar people awake from a deep sleep. The vibrations from frost quakes are occasionally strong enough to be measured and recorded on a seismometer, also known as a seismograph, which is a device used to measure ground movement during events like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. It appears that the cracks are caused by the ground having contracted rapidly due to the sudden cold and split apart. And so that's what a frost quake is. And we've heard them.
I haven't heard any this year.
We haven't heard any this year in our area.
We've heard them in the past.
There's a little diagram. They actually have a technical name. They're called a cryoseism. So it says ground becomes saturated, then the saturated ground rapidly freezes and a loud pop as ground cracks open. So, I mean, they're pretty much harmless, but they are kind of...
weird to hear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, today's Groundhog Day.
Oh, didn't find out what he saw. We talked.
That's just the American one. Ours is Wyerton Willie.
We've had other news that were diverting our attention.
Yeah.
It's Groundhog Day, and maybe life is on a loop. But I miss my burrow.
So did he see his shadow?
So I'm headed back down. There's a shadow up here. Get ready for 6 more weeks of winter this year.
We have Wyerton Willie.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Yeah, ours is Wyerton Willie. But of course, they sit there and they say 6 more weeks of winter. If he didn't see his shadow, it would be 6 more weeks to spring.
Well, according to Wyerton Willie, he predicts an early spring.
Oh, does he?
But Fred, Sam, and Lucy the lobster disagree on it.
Lucy the lobster?
I didn't hear about Lucy the lobster, so...
Do lobsters have shadows?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never heard of that. It says, Lucy the lobster in Barrington, Nova Scotia, saw her shadow and predicted 6 more weeks of winter.
Okay. Well, that's about right, because the first day of spring.
Puxatawney's Phil in Pennsylvania predicted 6 more weeks of winter, and Fred Lamarmont in Quebec predicted 6 more weeks of winter. And
no,
then
that would be 6. That would be set.
And then there's a Shuba Sam who lives in Shuba Wildlife Park in Nova Scotia, saw his shadow predicting 6 more weeks of winter. So Wyerton Willie's the only one that is saying it's in early spring.
Yeah, well, we always say early spring, March the 21st, first day of spring. There you go. How far away is March the 21st? Well, about 6 weeks. Okay, so there you go. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. Oh, Myra's Monkey Man. You changed it. Okay. Glenna, recently, she says, we recently had frost quakes in Missouri, which I think that would be kind of unusual, wouldn't it? But you guys had such cold weather this year. And Irie says she hasn't experienced a frost quake. Oh, I wonder why. Phil saw a shadow, as did George's groundhog, General Beauregard Lee. Okay, there's an awful lot of groundhogs out here, kept in captivity just so they can come out once a year to see a shadow or not. Denise is here. Willie didn't see a shadow. Rosemary says, frostquake. How interesting. I'm new to Massachusetts, so I appreciate the warning of this possible event. Well, it's harmless, I think. Charlotte says it's 84 degrees in Texas today. Yeah, rough life, eh? Quilts and chocolates. Yeah, I guess. Okay, with X's on it. Hello, Quilts and Chocolates. Inez says 4 months here. 4 months to spring?
Yeah, well, she's in Newfoundland, isn't she?
No, Inez? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, probably out in the rock it'll be cold. Sure, Quilts. You can say something. Go ahead. Okay, what Monday on my channel are homeschoolers. Okay, this is an advertisement, dear, for your channel. I don't know how to take that. You've never been here before, and now you're trying to advertise your channel on my channel. Yeah. Okay. Usually that isn't proper etiquette. Okay, because I have several other creators on here and they don't advertise their channel unless I ask them to tell me something about it. So just saying, this is an unusual situation. So Have a Love says lots of quakes here at the beach.
Yeah, was that just heavy people running around the beach?
Yeah, that could be. Kate's here. No snow here in Chicago. Bummer. That's kind of unusual, isn't it, Kate? I would think. Denise says they're having a blizzard today, heading into a polar vortex tonight, southeastern BC. Our high will be -20 tomorrow. Yeah, my brother and sister-in-law many years ago moved out there and talked about, oh, how nice it'll be. We'll have flowers in February and everything. I don't know how that's turning out. Julie says I found a whole family of groundhogs living in the barn.
Yeah, but did they see their
shadows? Did they see their shadows? If only one groundhog in a herd of groundhogs sees its shadow, does that make him special? Do they want to catch him and feed him and call him Wyerton Willie or any of the other ones' names? I don't know. Anyways, okay. So that's Frostquake. So not only are we entertaining, but we're educational as well.
Didn't get it.
Okay. Thanks, but I'm going to put you in timeout because we don't do advertisements. Arta Burns is here from San Diego. Okay, so let's talk about our new bed, shall we? It came yesterday, and we were excited. Now, if you probably heard us talk about before, but last Saturday we bought One of those beds. What are you doing with those eyes?
Last Thursday we bought a bed.
Was it a Thursday that we
Yes,
did
we
that?
did.
Well, okay. I stand corrected as I usually do. Anyways, we bought a new bed, and it's one of those ones that goes up and down and has a massager in it.
It's
and the whole bed.
adjustable.
We're getting, well, we just got it yesterday. We had our first night on it last night.
I warned Stephen not to sit on the remote control because he does that with the TV and switches channels all the time. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to end up in a pretzel if he sat on the remote control in bed.
Anyways, we're getting used to it, playing around with it, and Walter just found an app for it for our phone. So now we can control it from our phones as well. I don't know why that's a big advantage or not, but
well, you have the remote control on your side, so.
Well, I set the bed up last night. I thought there's a feature on it that's called flat, and it just takes everything lays you out flat. And I thought, well, I feel a little like as if I'm going to I've almost like my head is lower than my feet, kind of a thing. And no one wants to see the blood all rush to my brain because heaven only knows what that'll do to me. So I just raised it slightly, and I told him that. I said, when you come to bed, I've raised it just slightly. Oh, well, he says this morning, what? You couldn't sleep?
Actually, the app is Android friendly, so Android phones will do it too. So I'm just saying, somebody said anything iPhones can't control.
Yeah, that was a general comment that she was making about in this day and age, we control everything with our phones. He wasn't asking anything about Androids or anything like that, but you just jumped to a conclusion that isn't even there. So I asked you a question.
What?
About you. Why did you say you didn't sleep so well last night? Because I had the bed raised.
Yeah, you did. So then this morning when I put it laid flat on the bed, then it felt more comfortable for me.
Well, good for you. Okay, whatever. We're still playing with it. And Pace says, what happens to the bed if the power goes out? Is there a battery backup?
I think there's a way to put it back down if it's...
There is. It says in the book there's a way to do it, but there's not really a battery backup. I don't
And
think.
if it doesn't, we'll sleep in the other room.
Yeah. Well, the only time, really, it might be overkill if you really think about it. I've always kind of wanted these kind of beds, but the reason is I read in bed at night. Every night before I go to sleep, I read for a half an hour or so. And it's awkward. You're propping pillows up against the headboard and everything like that, and then you get a kink in your neck and whatnot. So I want this kind of bed for that reason. But this one does more than we thought. In fact, the platform that we ordered and paid for is not the platform that we got. They called us the day before it was to be delivered and said that, yeah, the platform arrived and it was damaged. However, we could substitute it for a different platform, which was a more expensive one, but they wouldn't charge it to us. And I said, well, does it have more features? And he says, yeah, it does a little bit more in the massage, and it's got lumbar, but yeah, bars in it as well, which I don't know how much we'll use those, but it's a feature. And I said, okay, fine, because otherwise we would have had to wait till the new one came in. And at the point that he called, we'd already had sort of the bed. Well, no, we had the bed apart. We just had the mattress on the floor. That's what we slept on. That was like university days, sleeping on the floor on a mattress kind of a deal. So anyways, the guys came yesterday afternoon, got it in. I wouldn't want their job. Holy crap, those things are weigh a ton. They took the old stuff away, which was part of the deal in that. But what we didn't realize was that the guy had said that it came with a kit for attaching the headboard to it. But we have a footboard as well in our bed. And I thought the guy said, yeah, he said, I'll give you a footboard too, attachment to it. I thought that's what he said. So I said to the guys when they're there, okay, so that's the package for the headboard. And he said, yeah, they don't attach it. We had to do that ourselves. And that was a lot of cursing and swearing on Walter's part. I left the room. But I said, what about the footboard? The guy said, he says, no, These kind of beds don't have the gun guy says, I've never heard of one of these kind of beds with a footboard, which makes some sense because there's a little bracket thing that keeps your mattress from sliding off the platform when you're raising it and lowering it and everything. And yeah, because of the way it works, I don't know how you would put a footboard.
Well, I looked at the bottom. There's nowhere you can attach it.
No. So, yeah. So now we have a footboard sitting in the guest bedroom somewhere. I don't know, we maybe should try to put it on, but it doesn't match the headboard on that bed.
I mean, I could fiddle around with the what do you call it, the frame that was on the old bed and try and get it attached.
I don't know, but then again,
I don't know
it's
if it's
probably
worth
not
it.
worth it with it the whole
Our
bed.
bed's not that young anymore anyway, so.
No, that's true. So what? The one in the guest bedroom?
No. I meant the one, our master bedroom bed isn't that. I mean, we haven't bought a new one in ages.
We're just talking about a headboard and a footboard.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean,
but they're in good shape.
They're in good shape.
They're solid wood.
I mean, there's probably a way I can finagle it if you really want it on there.
Do you need to raise your voice? I don't care. I'll live with it. It's fine. It's just that in the dark, when I go to the bathroom, I'm looking for the end of the footboard so I don't trip over anything. And it helps when I put it on my socks. But, you know, I guess you could install bars like they do in showers and stuff like that for old people. Whatever. But anyways, we'll get used to it. It's going to take some time with it. But
Lydia asked what we bought. We ended up buying a King's Down bed. And mattresses nowadays are weird. A lot of times they don't come with box springs and stuff like that. But we could have got a box spring with it. But they have these platforms now where you can sit in instead of putting it on a box spring. It depends on what you get, but most of the mattresses they manufacture these days can go on an adjustable base. That's what they call an adjustable base, where it can raise the head and the feet and stuff like that. And so you have to get a mattress that is suited for an adjustable base.
Yeah. Donna's.
The mattress we got is a King's Down brand. It's manufactured in Canada, and
which is important.
Yeah, and they have different kinds of mattresses you can get. We got one with a standard coil in it with what do you call it, a foam top on it. There's a lot that are all foam mattresses, so you would have to go in and decide what kind of mattress you want. I didn't really want a full foam mattress because a lot of people complain you sink too far into it and you can't turn over, or it's hard
like
for
a
you
bug
to
on
turn
its
over.
back trying to get out of the bed.
We didn't really want one of those. So
no, and actually I would not want one of those kind because I'm claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And if I can't move freely, I panic. So yeah, it's my phobia. Donna's here and she says, oh, my husband and I have one. I don't like it at all. Donna doesn't like it. Okay. Well, that's too bad.
I mean, Steve really got it mainly for he can.
I got it for my back.
Read in bed, and I don't know. Sometimes it might be advantageous to be able to adjust it.
Yeah. Now it does have several settings on it, and I noticed that Russ says Sleep Number has a snore setting that is a 7-degree incline that's supposed to help snoring. Yeah, this one has the same thing. There's a button for that.
The only problem is I would have to sleep on my back, and I usually sleep on my side
because I can't get the pillow over his face as easily that way. So he has learned to sleep on his side. Kate says maybe it could not control Walter. I don't know. What was it? Somebody said about, Charlotte said like pretzels. Yeah, because you can put the feet go up and you put the head up. It is kind of like, like that. Lydia says, need to look into buying a new bed too. What brand did you get? You've already told her that. Well, Inez, you want to know something? We do have a theory about that too. That is a possibility. The guy said they had them. It was in stock in the whole bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it didn't come in.
Yeah.
But actually, the one they gave us is actually a better.
It's a better one, so we'll take it. Jean is here. Hi, Jean. Inez says no, Russ. Clothespins pins control snoring. Yeah.
Yeah, it does have a setting on there for snoring, anti-snore. So
yeah. Anne says should have a night light.
oh yeah, so you can see where you're going.
Oh, actually, you know what's on the remote? There's a flashlight. There's a button for a flashlight, and it's kind of like your cell phone, although it's not all that bright. But I guess maybe that's so you can see your right around in the night. I don't know. Dubrovka says, "Is the mattress comfy soft?"
No, it's pretty firm.
No, we like a firm mattress, so it's fairly firm. I mean, it's comfortable. It is soft. It's not like you're laying on a board, but it is firm. Barbara has the same phobia as me. Sweet Granny's here. You can have so much fun with your new bed. Wink, wink. Yeah, those days are done. Kate says, does the massage feature work well? Yeah, and it gets it. There's a massage under your back, and there's a massage at your feet too, and you can either operate them both at the same time or independently. And they have several different settings on it, and it'll even pulse. And it's got a timer on it, so that you can set it for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. They recommend you don't use it for longer than 30 minutes at a time, kind of a deal. But it'll shut itself off. So if you were there and you fell asleep, it will shut itself off. But little pulse thing kind of go into you. It's kind of noisy, too. It's kind of loud. Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. So yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to it. We haven't had a new mattress in 20 years, so yeah. But we got this now, so yeah, I'll have some fun with it. So what else is new? Oh, I wanted to show you though. Walter sends me an email with okay, where are my pictures? With some humorous pictures that involve these kind of beds. Thought I'd share it with you. So here's the first one. Okay, talking about pretzels. What's this say? Push remote to return to flat position. And you can't reach the remote. Yeah, that would be a problem. This new adjustable mattress really does stop your snoring. Man, I should try that on you. Except the problem is I'd be folded up in it too. We don't have a split one. It's just one. I kind of wonder now whether we should have got the split.
Yeah.
I don't know. How can I tell if this is the controller for my side of the adjustable bed or yours? I think that's why he got the app on his phone. So he can control it in the middle of the night and kill me. He's always plotting, you know. So, yeah, okay, let me get back here where I was before. All right. You're welcome, Kate. Or Kat. Let's see. Okay, we had Walter's birthday dinner on Monday, and we went to the Keg. Oh my goodness. The Keg is a steakhouse. It's a Canadian chain. We think there might be one or two down in the States as well, but they're a Canadian chain. They're a steakhouse. They're very good. They're very expensive. Well, every place is very expensive. I suppose in comparison to maybe some places at $50 for a steak, or more. I guess it's par for the course. I don't know, in this day and age. Anyways, we like it there. The food is good. The whole bit. And everybody and their kid was there too. The place, it's a Monday night.
It was packed.
It was packed. I mean, we had a reservation, but I couldn't believe how many people were there. And children. You know, when I was a kid, very seldom did we go out for dinner. My parents couldn't afford it, for one thing. Second of all, if we did go on a rare occasion out for dinner, we were told within an inch of our life how to behave. And if we didn't behave, there would be death. Right there. My mother would have killed us. And we knew that. Well, there was a whole bunch celebrating somebody's birthday in the family, I guess, and they had all the family there and the grandchildren too. And there was one little tiny little thing, probably no more than 3 years old. And she was dancing up and down the aisles and doing little pirouettes in her nice little birthday dress or whatever she had. I was hoping she'd hit her little head on the end of the table, but then it'd be a lot of crying and blood and tears and everything. And I guess it's not appropriate to laugh at that point. But yeah. And the teenage girls that were there really dressed for dinner, didn't you? Cute. Needed to see that hanging in your food, not put the girls away, girls. Really? But I'm just an old crotchety man. I remember a day and age when I used to go to one of those kind of restaurants and people talked like this. They whispered. Not anymore. They yell across the room. So, whatever. But it was still, we had a good enough time. We had escargot. Yes, I love escargot. Although I had to listen to him up until the moment he finally decided to order it. I don't know if I want escargot. It may make me feel too full. I don't know. Should I have a salad? Shouldn't I have a salad? I don't know if I'll have a salad. I'll probably too full. I don't want to feel too full. I don't want to stop. This diet thing drives me up the wall. So did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we weren't a cheap date, believe me. So thank God I had my gift cards with my points for that one. Anne says you can wake each other up in the morning with some bed flapping.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, Anne. I don't know.
I'm on a different planet, I guess.
I think so. Dubrovnik says, thanks for the bed info. Okay. So, yeah, Walter's birthday was fine. It's over. Good. So, another announcement. All right, just an update on the spring retreat, the Idiot Quilter Spring Retreat. I think I mentioned last week that the date will be Saturday, April the 26th. That has not changed. That's when it will be. All the details about how you register, because you do have to register for it, but it's absolutely free. There are prizes as well. So I will have all that information coming out in another month or so. Right now, I am trying to line up my guest speakers. I put out 3 feelers. I have got 1 guest speaker already lined up. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. Don't get overly excited. It's not Jenny Doan satelliting in from Africa or anything like that. It is somebody some of you will know as well. I'm not going for the big names out there because, you know, everybody knows those people. I want to pull from the community, from my community here. And so I've had one of my regular subscribers who's graciously said that she would do this, and she is a very talented quilter and a wonderful hand quilter as well. And I do want to focus on that when the time comes. She's a little shy about doing this and everything, but I know she's going to do a wonderful job, so no pressure if she sees this, but I'm not going to say who it is right yet. I have had a feeler out to Cornelius Acquiring, who a few weeks ago I did an interview with him. I kind of figured he wouldn't be able to do it because I know he's really a busy guy, because he actually is a business unto himself between YouTube and he does classes and everything like that. He said he couldn't do it because he was doing a trade show that same weekend as well. So we couldn't get Cornelius. I have a feeler out for somebody else who has been on my pop-up so days before, but somebody that I know you all know who it will be, but I'm not going to say anything because he hasn't answered my email yet, which is not unusual. He's another busy person. So I'm drawing, and you've given me some suggestions as well, some of you, and I'm open to other suggestions too. But remember, I'm not looking for the big name stars. Okay, they get lots of publicity. I'm looking for people we can relate to. You know, people are just like the rest of us quilters, you know. So yeah, so I'm still open to suggestions for names, and thank you for those of you that have sent me some, because they're all possibilities. So yeah, that's an update on that. And as I said, in another month's time, there'll be some serious information coming out about it then, because hopefully by then I will have everything well planned out. Dubrovka says, I must be old, hate kids running in the restaurant. I do too. I like to stick my foot out and trip them. Yeah, I'm just like that way. Like the bed will flap up and down with the remote control, so I'm not the best in English. Oh, okay, Anne, I get it now. Yeah. Yeah, it's things that cartoons are made of with that. Okay, so we had a comment this week that I thought we should look at, because from Kathy Gore, and she said you asked for Sunday ideas for you asked Sunday for ideas. Would it be possible to get a shed update? So Walter, shed update. Walter's man cave, man shed.
It's still there.
It's frozen.
It's
It's
cold.
covered in snow.
It's covered in snow.
Have you been out in it
Yeah,
lately?
no, I went out to get a shovel out of there that I didn't have in the garage, so I had to barrel my way through some snow to get there.
So the shed is surviving the winter.
Yeah, like there's nothing that I think I need to update. It's just a shed.
Yeah. But
I'm not like, I don't make it my home or anything like that. I don't do anything in it. I just store stuff in it.
yeah, so there's the shed update. And then she had another one. She wants to know, how about the windows? Well, all the windows that we've had installed so far have been great. We did have that problem with the transom window we talked about, and it's been replaced. We're on the third one right now. But I look at it every day, and so far, so good. It's not, the seal is holding, and we're not getting that fog between the layers that we had before with it. So hopefully this will continue this way. So far, so good. We do need to seriously think about getting some more of the windows in the house replaced, and especially down in the rec room, because that one window we have in there is drafty as heck. I was watching a documentary this
Yeah,
afternoon.
well, it's not just the window, it's the space around the window that I think is the problem.
Space around the window, you mean
You
around
know,
the frame?
because the insulation, because the house is getting older, the insulation has retracted from the edge of the windows.
So yeah, we need to look into getting those done. We have a lot of projects that need to be looked into in this house, and all I see is like dollar signs, ka-ching, ka-ching. Like, we really need to replace the carpeting in this house and the flooring in this house, especially when we pulled up the old bed. You could definitely tell that the carpet has changed color. The stuff under the bed's more protected. Now, that's not to say that our carpet isn't in good shape. It's in pretty good shape for being 30 years old. But, you know, we don't have pets, we don't have kids. So, and we do vacuum on a very regular basis. So, yeah, but
it needs to be replaced.
It needs to be replaced because, you know, the underpad underneath it is starting, well, you can feel the difference. Standing on the spot where the bed used to be, you say, oh, that's what the underpad used to feel like in this house. Okay, there's a difference between the two. What I'm not looking forward to in that situation is, what do we do with the furniture?
Yeah, what's the disruption and everything else, and then who do we get in to do it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's the other problem. So we'll have to look into that this year sometime.
Yeah, sometime. Yeah, we got 2 trips planned, and
Yeah, I think we should start with windows. So
yeah, I think so. Because definitely we need that to be done. So yeah, so the windows we had installed though are fine. They're doing great. They're very nice. Now she also asked, would it be possible to see some cooking from Walter? Let's say not blueberry pie. I have never had a pie that I've ever rejected.
I made it from frozen berries, and I don't think they were the best.
Yeah, and I think you put in that stupid.
I do all the
sugar.
time. Well, I'm not making a pie without it, so I make it with. I made. You haven't complained about it without apples.
No, but with the blueberry. Well, maybe it's the blueberries.
I think it's the
don't know.
blueberries. The blueberries themselves weren't very flavorful, and they don't really have much flavor to them. So I've never really liked blueberry pie much anyway. So it's.
It wasn't that I said make a blueberry pie. I'm dying for blueberry pie.
I just thought I would.
So he did. May never see another blueberry pie.
No.
For whatever. But But now that talking about his little diet here and the whole pre-diabetic, we've been having wonderful things like baby food cauliflower. What
I
was
tried
that?
some cauliflower mash.
Yeah, it was more like cauliflower mush. I don't know. What was it you did to it? You
I
boiled it and put it in a blender and
added stuff to it.
nursing home food. Really, it was soft. I mean, you gotta love a cauliflower that you put on your plate and it runs. You know, you want to,
It was my first attempt.
you might be tempted to use a fork, but use a spoon because you might get every. I mean, it didn't taste bad or anything like that. It was just more of a texture thing. It was just, I mean, maybe a little less puree.
Okay, fine.
Like,
Well, no, I don't think I like to do a cooking show because my cooking's pretty basic. And the only thing that I've done different in my diet is I eat a lot more vegetables and less carbohydrates than I used to. So
yeah, no sugars added.
yeah, I know, and I don't use. If I make something sweet, you'll use a sugar substitute.
That makes you crap.
Well, then you make it and eat it for your.
Oh, here we go.
You
Here
buy
we go.
Your own
Here we go.
cookies,
Here
so-
we go. I don't like those cookies.
Well, that's too bad.
That's
you
why.
bought them.
Well, you got them at Costco. I thought they'd be okay, but
And you always complain about Costco
well,
cookies.
I don't know. They used to be good, but these ones, no.
They never were good.
Yeah, whatever.
M. Mac from Scarborough. Who's
Oh,
that?
M
That's
Mac.
it.
Someone new. Hi, M Mac. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. And Grand
Grandamelia.
Gamelia is here as well. What's his answers? I'm so thankful for the videos you made about your embroidery machine and also one about the Janome MC 6700. I have the same machine, so they really helped me when I got my machines. Okay, good to know, Anne. We're glad that you found that helpful. So yeah, so now there were though, since Kathy was asking this from a diabetic point of view, because she's diabetic, and she's probably seen this book before. I bought 2 books. We've never used them. Why haven't we?
Because I don't like the recipes in them. And one of them just says a type 2 diabetes cookbook. Cut up an avocado and put salt and pepper on it. That's their recipe.
Oh, well, I had another one here. That was one that I bought. Was that the one that was
I think that's the one that has that in it. It has a lot of really stupid stuff in it.
had good reviews though.
Yeah, well, for people that don't know how to cut up avocados.
Oh, I won't be able to find the other one this way. I need a second here. Find it. I had it. I thought I had it up here. I guess I replaced it with the frost quake. Okay, where's my stupid cursor? Magic mouse, my.
It's down there.
Yeah, I know. I don't want it down there. I want it up here, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. No, that's the one I just had up there. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. This must be the one. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. This is the other book. Diabetes Cookbook and Meal Plan for the Newly Diagnosed. What was wrong with it?
I don't know. I don't see anything in there that appeals to me.
Okay. Well, they do seem to be very...
I mean, they're very basic. I mean, it's just a lot of vegetables and less meat, less carbs.
So anyways, don't waste your money on either one of these 2 books because they're just sitting on a shelf right now, doing nothing. But anyways, actually what I did say to Walter, though, about the cooking, when he's cooking, I'm just going to do some video.
Okay, fine.
With it. There will just be little short little excerpts. We won't do a full-fledged cooking show. Although, okay. Glenn and Friends, you've heard me talk about that. Well, he did Yorkshire pudding. They looked great. It took him 2 days. I make Yorkshire... What?
Oh, okay, well, I wasn't sure if we were on... You had that online. Okay, go ahead.
Imagine 3,000 volts coming out of my finger right now. Point your head. Can I bring up what?
The
Oh, fine.
comments.
Okay. Geez, you're demanding. What do you want? So Glenn and Friends Cooking. He was making Yorkshire puddings. It took him 2 days to make them. Why? First of all, he made this batter, and he said it had to sit for a minimum of 4 hours in the fridge before you do the next stage of it. No. I make Yorkshire puddings all the time. Are they good?
Yeah.
Yes, they're good. High praise from Walter.
Lots of carbs, though.
God, kill me now. Anyways, my recipe for Yorkshire pudding is very basic. It's very easy, works every time. What's a Yorkshire pudding if you don't know? It's basically not a pudding, and it's not from Yorkshire. But it's a pop-up, a popover kind of a thing, you know? And it's my recipe. Here, I'll let you know my secret. Okay. Recipe. 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, a pinch of salt, and an egg. 1 egg. Throw all that stuff in a blender. Blend the hell out of it until it's smooth, like a batter, like almost like a pancake batter. It'll probably be a little thinner than that. In the meantime, take a muffin tin. Put a little bit of cooking oil, your choice. I use olive oil. It can be any kind of oil. It doesn't matter. Don't use avocado.
Yeah, it has a high smoking point.
Yeah, because you want your oil to smoke. That's the trick. You put a little bit of oil in the bottom of each of your little cups in your muffin tin, okay? Just enough to cover the bottom. That's all, okay? I also spray it with a little cooking spray as well so it doesn't stick on the edges. Put it in a hot oven. 425 degrees Fahrenheit is what I put it in. Put it in there for about 10 minutes or so after your oven is heated up, and check it. When your oil starts to smoke, not on fire, when it starts to smoke a little bit, take it out, pour in your stuff from your blender into that, about 3/4 of the way full in each one. Throw it back in the oven. Let it go for about 30 minutes. They will pop up, they will rise, and then you can look at it, and because oven temperatures vary slightly, take a look at it. If they're nice and golden and the kind of thing, then take them out. Let them cool for about 5 minutes in the muffin tin. Then turn your muffin tin upside down on top of a paper towel, because there'll be a little bit of excess oil on them, to drain them. That's how you make them. How long does it take from beginning to end? At the most 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, counting, getting out your ingredients and blending it.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
you don't really rest your batter or anything.
No, you don't have to do any of that crap with it. The real secret is smoking your oil with it. And he did that. He brought his oil up to temperature, and I think he was doing it at about 475, whatever floats your boat. Basically, his ingredients were the same. I have no idea why he was leaving the batter overnight to rest. That did not make any sense. But then he made roast potatoes. He basically deep fried potatoes in a pan in the oven, in a sense. You know, his potatoes look like they had been fried, is what they look like pan fries. Except he did them in the oven. And those took him forever to do too. So, no, you don't need to do that. That's pretty basic cooking. It really is on that kind of stuff. So I don't recommend his recipe for that.
In fact, I've tried a few of his recipes over time. There's only 1 or 2 that actually worked. Every time anything else he's made, I've never had anything come out.
He purposely leaves something out just so...
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like to talk nasty about other people's channels here, and I like his channel. We watch it anyways. But when I saw him do Yorkshire pudding like that, I thought, no, because if you've never made Yorkshire pudding before, you will never make it after watching him do it.
No,
and they're so easy.
Well, I found some other things. Like I do a pizza recipe that I haven't done in a while because it's carbs, but it was from this Jenny Can Cook, and she said, oh yeah, mix up all your flour and all other stuff and your yeast and that to make the pizza dough, and then put it in the fridge overnight. And I hate recipes that you have to wait overnight because I don't plan that far ahead, right? And so then the alternative was to mix it up but use warm water instead of like cold water in your batter, and then leave it on your counter for 3 hours. And I thought, well, that's still expensive. So I said I do it my own way. I do
Of course you do it your
warm
way.
water, but I put the make the dough rise in a warm setting instead of just on the counter.
Yeah.
And it cuts it down to about an hour and a half as opposed to 3 hours.
So let's see, there's some other people say, Dubrovka said, just did our carpets in the bedrooms and the company did all the work. They moved all the furniture, paid $500 extra worth every penny, 3 bedrooms done in 3 days. That's a possibility to look into too. Although, it's not so much moving the furniture, it's where do you put it? When well, we'd have to pile everything in the living room.
Yeah.
Or in the family room, because that's the only room that doesn't have carpet.
Yeah, and like, I mean, move your furniture. Well, one of our rooms got all kinds of stuff in the furnitures that you have to wrap up still. So
yeah, so I don't know, but we'll have to look into that. KW's here. Hi, KW. Kate says the diabetic cookbooks I have found are really lacking. Well, those two are too, so don't buy those. They were a waste of money. KMB Stitches is here. Hello, KMB Stitches. Kathy says, I can't get popovers to pop. We'll try your method. Okay, here's something funny. This is my mother's recipe. So, and I told you what the recipe is. It's a cup. It's 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, 1 egg, a pinch of salt. Okay? Throw it all in the blender. That's all it is. I usually do a double batch because I've got the bigger muffin tins. So I make killer Yorkshires out of that. So I just double the recipe. Easy. No problem. But it was my mother's recipe. So one time my mother was here for dinner and we made a roast beast and we had Yorkshire and everything. My mother goes, your Yorkshire puddings turn out so nice. Mine never turn out like this. They're no good. And then she started buying them, like frozen ones. And no, they're hockey pucks. I said, Mom, it's your recipe. Well, why don't mine ever come out like that? And I says, I don't know, Mom. Do you smoke your oil? That is the secret. You got to smoke your oil. It has to have that heat to make them. They'll start to partially cook as you're pouring them into the muffin tin. And don't let the muffin tin sit around. Take it right out of the oven already. Have it ready to pour the stuff in. And they'll pop up. No problem at all. Let's see, moving down here. Canby's stitch January 8th or 18th.
well, we're not in January anymore.
No, February. I'm not sure what you're asking. You're asking when the pop-up sew day is? It's February the 8th. Okay. The retreat will be April the 26th. Okay. Yeah, February the 8th. Did I say January? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I actually said, you would have picked up on that.
Yeah, I thought you said February.
I thought I said February. I have it written down. But anyways, it is February the 8th. So next Saturday for the pop-up sew day. Yeah. Candace says, I've never smoked oil, but I'll try anything once. Yeah. I knew you'd go there, Candace. I just knew that. Okay, so anyways, I think that answered most of the questions for Kathy. Now, guess what time it is? It's time for our first ever draw. So if you would like a chance to win a mystery box of 3D prints, some of them will be about quilting and sewing. Some of them will just be fun on that. I've got the box already made up and everything. I just need a winner. So I have set Nightbot up to pick a winner. So if you want to be in the draw, you have to be on here when the draw is completed.
However, there's also a restriction too. You're not sending anything to Europe or anything.
Yes, I cannot. I'm only sending, it can only be for somebody that lives in Canada or lives in the United States, excluding, I'm sorry, Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. Because, yeah, shipping's just astronomical, as you know. So if you want to be in the draw, what you have to do within the next 5 minutes is simply put in the comment section 3D, the number 3 and the little letter D, okay? Small lowercase d. So the letter 3 or the number 3 and the letter lowercase d, 3D. So just put that in with nothing else in there, and in 5 minutes time, I'm going to set my timer.
So where are they putting it? In the comments?
They're putting it in the comment section. I just said that. What's the matter? Rented ears? What?
Okay, yeah.
None at all? Okay. So that's what'll happen. And then we'll see who the lucky winner is. Okay. So let's get on to the elephant in the room for what happened yesterday. I don't want to get into a political discussion. I'm just going to say that this does affect us, and it will affect you that are not Canadian but are American. If you're not American and you're not Canadian, you don't have to worry about it. And that, of course, we have a war going on between our two countries, a trade war. And we know why that has happened, and we don't have to get into it. But let's put it this way. We aren't going to be buying as much as we can avoid it. We'll be looking at every label that we pick up of food items or anything else. And if it's made in Canada or somewhere else, we will buy it. If it's made in the United States, we are not buying it. That's how we as consumers in Canada have decided we're going to fight this. We're not the only ones. Everybody. We have got lists posted on items to avoid, what the substitute is if there's a Canadian equivalent for it, and the whole bit. We as Canadians have been extremely insulted, to say the least, and we're not taking this lying down. And I know that many of you out there know exactly what we're talking about, and you support that effort as well, because you're not happy either, and you shouldn't be happy about it, because the tariffs are not going to just hurt Canada, they're going to hurt Americans as well. And in fact, in many ways, it's possibly going to hurt Americans more. But that person you have in control of your country doesn't understand that yet. Even though we've had a delegation go down to the White House and talk to him about it, and he's had other experts in the world of economics and trade explain it to him, he doesn't get it. So we're not going to go any further with this political discussion, but it's just to let you know. Hopefully, we're pretty sure that if an American wins on the draw today, you won't have to pay a tariff on what we send you. We are not a business, so that's okay. We're still tariff free on this channel. Okay, so got about 2.5 minutes before the draw is closed. So yeah. So remember, it's like, and I see everybody doing it 3D, and that's correct. Faith. I don't know if it'll, and MMAC, not a capital D, put in a small d, please. I'm not sure if Nightbot distinguishes between uppercase and lowercase, but just to be on the safe side, re-enter it as 3 with a lowercase d. I did say that 3 times, but apparently people don't listen to me, just like Walter. Let's see. KMB says, I don't blame you either. Kim agrees, because Kim's a Canadian as well. Sherry says, I very much support you. Can't stand him. Yep. We're not going to get into it, though. We all know. We've talked about it many times. Yes, it will hurt us more, and I'm dread going to the grocery store in the future. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's hope that there are some influences on this that will stop it. But we as Canadians are not taking this sitting down at all. You know, we are a smaller country in terms of population, but we speak softly, but we carry a big stick, to use an American expression from that. Okay, so let's turn our attention. We've got another minute here before the draw closes. Okay, you know I've been trying to get rid of donate some of my 3D prints to the local elementary school. The local elementary school to me is called Kindred Public School. Not that means much to anybody else here, but that's what it's called. Just in case we have some locals watching this, so they'll know what I'm about to say. I am so sick and tired of people in administration of schools. I am a qualified principal. Okay, I have all the papers for it and everything, the courses and whatnot, and I made a decision at the time after I got all that I would never become a principal. One, they would fire me after the first day because I would tell some bitching parent like, and how was that my problem? Drop dead, goodbye. So, you know, not really a diplomat. Are you surprised? No, nobody is. But also something happens to teachers who become administrators. Now, I'm not saying that all people are like this, but many of the ones that I have dealt with in my career as a teacher for 31 years, most of the administrators were there not for the kids, they were there for themselves. It was a stepping stone to advancement. A lot of them wanted to get their position, rise up in the ranks so they could have an office, a nice office in the board office itself, and control a lot of people and a lot of things. It's a power game. It's like politics, because that's what it is. It's political. When you get to that level as an administrator in the school system, it is politics. You don't have time for the teachers or for the students. So why am I pissed off with this right now? Well, I'm going to say more about this on my rant tomorrow on my vlog. But here's the story when it comes to the things I want to donate. And before I talk about that, the draw is now closed. So I'm going to have Nightbot pick the winner. And it's working. And, oh, the winner is Sue Norfleet. Sue Norfleet. Sue, are you still here? Are you still here? Winner is Sue Norfleet. Actually, I think I could have had the robot do this.
Just it said a robot came up with it.
Oh, did it come up with it? Oh, okay. First time I've used that. So, yay, Sue. So, Sue, all I need you... Are you here, Sue? Say hello, Sue. You have to be here, Sue, to get it. Tell me you're here.
Well,
there she is. There's Sue. Sue, you are the big winner. So, Sue, I probably have it, but I need you to send it to me. I know you have my email address, so just send me your full mailing address. And next week, I'll be shipping out your gift to you, and probably by 2026, you will receive it. Given our two postal systems and how well they work. And remember, for now, it is totally tariff-free. Yeah. So that's great. Okay, so Sue's our big winner. All right, let's get back to the school. So I sent an email to the school with pictures of some of the items, and I told them, I said, you know, I make these, I'm in your school community area. You know, I know teachers like to decorate their classrooms. You like to have prizes for the kids, all kinds of things. I'm more than happy, free of charge, to donate all of this to you. And we could even talk further about maybe some other items that you could use that I could make, because I love making them. That's why I do it. I also reminded them that I had donated to them a couple of years ago when I redid this room. This, my sewing room, used to be my craft room. I took over all kinds of scrapbook pads, papers, because I was a scrapbooker. And they were pads I had never opened. And anybody that out there that does paper crafts or does scrapbooking, you know how much those pads cost. They range anywhere from, you know, $20 and up per pad, depending on, you know, what the, at least in Canadian dollars. So I gave them 2 banker boxes, chucked full, pads packed on the vertical, to them. There had to be $500, $600, $700 worth of pads. And I took them in to the school office, and the secretaries were there, the 2 of them, and they looked at it, and they were both scrapbookers, and I went, oh, this is great. The teachers will love this, but we're going to go through it first because we're scrapbookers. And I said, it's here, it's yours. You know, most of those pads had never been opened. The seal was still on them, the whole bit. So do you think I got a thank you note from the school administration from that? No, nothing. So earlier in the past year, I was cleaning out some old paint supplies because I used to do mixed media and stuff. And I needed the space in the Lucy room, and I wasn't using it anymore. So I went through all of my paint supplies, and I had paint that had never been opened. Big bottles of tempera paint, which they like to use in the schools, but plus, acrylics and things like that. I went through everything to make sure they weren't dried up, that they were still usable. Many of them had never been opened at all. And I took those over, along with a couple of fairly elaborate carrying cases that I had for these supplies that I had bought at Michael's at one time, which were part of a component system with handle and the whole bit. That cost me quite a bit of money at the time. I took them all over to the school. The secretaries there go, oh yeah, this will be great. The teachers will love it because we don't have a budget, for this kind of stuff and whatnot. And I says, well, here you go. Did I get a thank you note from the administration at any time? No, nothing. Now, maybe I'm asking too much for a thank you note. I expect people to thank you. I mean, that's a polite thing to do, isn't it? That's the way my mother raised me. Someone gave you something, you sent them a little note. I wasn't asking for a diploma or a statue or a medal. A little email. Thank you so much. I'm sure that the teachers will appreciate this and the kids will get a lot of use out of it. That would take 30 seconds to write, wouldn't it? But no. So I go over with all this other stuff. Or I didn't go over, actually. I sent them an email with pictures. Didn't hear anything from them. I let 3-4 days go by, nothing. I wrote it again. Now, the second time I sent it from my secondary email address because although there shouldn't have been a problem with my main email address, I just, on the off chance that it went into their junk folder or something like that, because, schools get lots of email and I'm sure they get their fair share of junk. So I sent it from the other one. Within about half a day, I got an answer back from the secretaries, and it basically said, yeah, they passed it on to the vice principal, but the vice principal was new to the school and really was a little overwhelmed right now, so give her a few days. Okay, fine. It's a demanding job. I did. Nothing. I sent a third one earlier this week, and I said, all I would like to know is yes or no. If you want this, no problem. If you don't want it, then I'll offer it to someone else. I just want a yes or no. I'm in your school community. I thought charity starts at home kind of video. Nothing. So I'm not sending them a fourth one. I'm done with them. That's it. But you know what it is? Administrators, yes, they are busy. But if it's not going to do anything for them, they're not going to do it. They're not even considering their teachers and how much teachers might want these. They're not considering the kids because that's who it's for. I'm not giving it to the administrators. I'm giving it to the teachers and the kids for it all. I did think in my imagination that I should maybe write to their superintendent of the school. That gets attention. But you know what the problem with superintendents is they have their flunkies handle any of their email and it gets overlooked. If you've got a serious problem, we had one lady on our Chatty day, on our Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen day, who had her sister had a problem. It was a bullying problem for her daughter in the school. The administration didn't do anything about it. She even went as high as the superintendent. The superintendent wouldn't do anything about it either. And this was very serious, to the point where the poor girl was actually physically harmed. Now, I would have at that point called in the cops. That would have got their attention. But that's how administrators at schools are. And that's sad. That's really sad, because an administrator of any school sets the tone of the school. But many of these administrators now are young. They haven't been in the classroom that much. I worked with several administrators who were, my God, you've got less than 5 years experience in a classroom and you're going to deal with kids and with staff and the whole bit. Basically, you're just out of diapers kind of a thing with that. But these are ones that are career educators. What I mean by that is teaching in a classroom is a temporary step to move their way into administration and then move their way into cushy jobs at the upper level, at the board office levels. Yeah, that's not education. That's not teaching. That's politics. So you see, politics gets involved in everything. I'm really disgusted with the education system for a variety of reasons. But this one is one of the biggies. Now, I did have one of my last years of teaching, I had a wonderful principal. He was a rarity. He was extremely supportive of his staff. Many of them pay you lip service. Or there was one administrator that knew, she used to slip a little note in your mailbox. Thank you, you're doing a wonderful job. You know, you knew that she'd never even been in your classroom, didn't know what the hell you were doing or anything like that. She stuck that in those sunshine notes, we used to call them. And of course, when the staff would say, oh, what'd you get in your mailbox? I got a sunshine note. Yay. It meant nothing. It meant nothing because these were happening all the time. But for some reason, she thought this was supposed to be a morale booster. No, it's not. Be there when the teacher needs you. Like, support them when a kid is trying to bully a young teacher in a hallway. And I'm talking high school level, and that happens on a regular basis. Board turns its back, doesn't do anything. It's sexual harassment. And they discourage the teacher from reporting it to the local cops as well, because they don't want bad publicity, you know. Everything's a reflection on the kind of job they're doing. Well, they're not doing a really wonderful job. But the last principal I worked with, he was really great. So, yeah. But he was one of the few of all the administrators I ever worked with. I had a few good VPs along the line too. But yeah. So this is what you run up against. And in this day and age where everything is politics anymore and the way school systems work, if you're looking for support from an administrator because of a problem you might be having with your kid's teacher or with bullying in the classroom or discrimination or that kind of stuff, if you don't have a supportive principal, where are you going to go? Yeah, you lose. So anyways, I thought that is something that I want to tell you about. And in fact, there were some comments about this. What? Point your finger.
No, there's some people that have made comments up here too.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Can you take samples into the office and talk to school secretary? The secretary runs the school and she will know what teachers would want your treasures. Okay, here's the problem with getting inside our schools. It's security. Which I think is a good thing, but so yes, I could go into the office with the boxes of them. But here's the thing. I don't know if they'd sit in a corner or not. Also, I thought I sent them pictures, like good, clear pictures, describe them all with it. So they should have been able to tell from that what's there. So yeah, and you get the bum's rush. You walk in, the secretaries want you out of that office really quick because the secretaries are the front line and they're usually dealing with some kid that's in tears or some kid that's coming with a bloody nose or some teacher that's about to have a conniption fit because of something or other in the classroom. They're the front line. So I don't want to take up their time basically with that because yes, the secretaries in a school run the school. You always want to make friends with the staff in the office as a teacher. I knew that from day one. Denise says, maybe the woman who took them from you took them all home and the administration never knew of your donation. It would have been quite a bit.
There was quite a bit there.
Yeah. I mean, I said to him, if there's something in here you would like, by all means, because they were scrapbookers. And apparently they had been in one of my classes when I taught scrapbooking classes too, which I didn't know at the time, but you recognize them, they all look alike to me, but kind of thing. So I suppose that's a possibility, but I don't think that's what happened. And I'm sure they didn't run off with all the paint supplies either. So, and Barb says, I would say the hell with them. Well, basically that's what I'm doing. Sweet Granny says, talk to one or two of the teachers in that school. Maybe the teachers are not getting the information. Well, that is a possibility, but how do I talk to a teacher? I cannot just walk into the school and walk up to a teacher. No. That's red
Yeah,
alert.
and it's not like we have kids that go to that school or anything like that. And a lot of the neighbors don't have kids that age either. So
Yeah. So, yeah, no. A man walking into a school with a box? Yeah, I don't think, not in this day and age. No. But anyways, I'll say more about that on my rant tomorrow. But there was a couple of comments here. My sister, Laura says, my sister is a third grade teacher and I've donated many of my scrapbooking materials and stamping supplies to her directly. She appreciates everything. Unfortunately, when I contact the school district that I retired from as a benefits coordinator in the HR department, I got no response. The teachers appreciate any and everything, but the administrators don't seem to pass the word along to the teachers. It's so very sad because, as you know, they spend money out of their own pockets to provide supplies for their classrooms. Yep. And it all goes back to the administration. They're not looking out for their teachers in that way. And believe me, the budget that they have for departments, now I'm talking at the high school level. I know it's bad in the elementary school too. But part of my duties as a department head was I was given a budget. I had to negotiate the budget to buy all the supplies that teachers would be using in the year. It was never enough, and usually we ran out within 2 months of it. So yeah, teachers brought in their own stuff. I brought in all kinds of my own stuff. I even bought at one point in time my own photocopier, small desktop photocopier. That was back in the days before we had printers with scanners on them. And I would print out, scan in the stuff I needed for my classroom as well, and make all my own copies, for 90 kids on a regular basis. Yeah. And another person wrote, this is Nani Noons, whatever. When I wanted to donate art supplies to a school, I got no response from a min. When I talked to some teachers, they were thrilled and happily took my donation. So basically, same thing there, that it's like the communication breaks down, doesn't get to the teachers about this. I'm sure the teachers would appreciate it.
yeah, Cheryl sort of suggested they might have their email address listed. I don't think so.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. When we first, way back years ago, when we first got more into the internet and the whole thing, teachers did have their email address online from a central thing, but they don't do that now because of the cranks and the scammers and the kids too, hate mail and stuff like that. So they stopped doing that. So yeah,
you get the old, when you used to have your phone number listed and you'd get a phone call on Sunday night that the kid that had his paper due on Monday wasn't going to have it because he was sick.
Yeah.
Or they were going to Florida or something like that.
Yeah. Actually, Myra's got an idea I hadn't thought of. Local library children's program.
Yeah, that's true.
That one I will write down. Yeah, I note that because I hadn't thought about that. And we do have children's programs in all the branches of our library here. So, yeah. I will give that a try. And I know some of those libraries have 3D printers in them that patrons can go in and use and things like that. And I think they use them with kids too in some of their programs. So good idea. Thank you, Myra, for that. Didn't think about that. So anyways, we've come to the end today of all of this. So if all goes well, depending on what the shipping and everything, when I send Sue's stuff out, we will have another draw. My plan is to do a draw once a month, first live of the month. So this was the first live of February, so the next one will be the first live of March for that. And if remember, Pop-Up Sew Day this coming Saturday, February the 8th. The link's in the show notes below, and it'll be in all my show notes next week. And yeah, hope to see those of you that can make it there. You don't have to come for the whole day. You can pop in for an hour or two, whatever fits in your schedule, if you so desire. And yeah, I think that's it. Any parting words?
No.
No, man, a few words, except to me. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So we'll see you next week unless we die in the bed because we fold this into a pretzel. See you later.